begin today's MLB recap, I'm going to make everyone feel old because 15 years ago today, Ryan Howard smacked his 52nd home run of the season. To me, I feel like it was just yesterday when I saw it happen live, not in person, but on TV. And now I'm 25 years old, and it is honestly scary how fast time is moving now. But anyways, what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, so if this is your first time on the channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button because this is the best place to be if you want to stay up to date on the game of baseball, as well as save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. The Pirates, they did Pirates things yesterday. We're going to talk about them in just a moment. The Mets have yet to lose a game since their incident of giving the thumbs down to the fans. And then also the Phillies, are they playoff bound? Now, because we just hinted at the Pirates doing Pirates things, let's go ahead and explain what that means, because Colin Moran, he belts a 3-run tater in the first inning, and Mitch Keller, he showed up. He was a former top 100 prospect. This guy supposedly is supposed to be the ace of the future for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he showed up yesterday. 6 shutout innings, 8 strikeouts, did not allow a single walk, but then guess what happens? Yup, the Pittsburgh bullpen implodes. Rafael Ortega hits a game-tying 3-run home run, and then Frank Schwindel gets on base for Ian Happ, who also goes yard. Ian Happ is now hitting .326 with 4 home runs over his last 10 games. He was upset because he has never had an OPS plus below 100 to begin his career. He is sitting at 85 OPS plus right now, so he's got to keep it going for the remainder of the season. We're watching the Cubs fall apart as well. Catcher's interference allows a 2-run single from Michael Perez to tie the game, and then Ian Happ gets a walk-off error because Wilmer Difo does not know how to catch a fly ball, and there you go. The Cubs win 6-5 because, like I mentioned, the Pirates, they wwere doing Pirate things. The Giants must win this game against the Brewers, and they did yesterday. Austin Slater, he starts off the game by lacing a 407-foot home run for the first run of the game. Jace Peterson, we talked about him a lot the first few weeks of the season. He's cooled off a little bit, but he bloops a game-tying run. Logan Webb has essentially been Kevin Gausman the last 2 months. Yesterday, he struck out 10 hitters, only allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings. He got some help from Mike Yastrzemski. He throws out Daniel Vogelbach. Daniel Vogelbach does not move well. It looks like he's in pain sliding into second as he gets tossed out by Mike Yastrzemski. Chris Bryant steals a base, and then Darren Ruff drives him in on an RBI. And then Tyro Estrada takes flight yesterday. Devin Williams got credited for 4 earned runs yesterday after not allowing a single earned run in the entire month of August. So with that W, the Giants are back in first place and tied with the Dodgers. Now, speaking of the Dodgers, about 20 minutes ago at the time of this recording, probably a few hours before you guys are watching this, it was announced that Trevor Bauer for the 8th time was going to have his pay leave extended. So honestly, the vibe that I'm getting right now is Trevor Bauer's season is probably over, and MLB is still trying to figure it out. It's a complete mess, and to me, he's not pitching anymore, at least for 2021. The Phillies faced off against the Nationals yesterday. Lane Thomas has been insane for Washington. He hits his first home run as a member of the Nationals, and then Juan Soto goes to dead center as well to make it 3-0. Then Juan Soto drives in 2 more RBIs, and Josh Bell makes it a 6 earned run day for Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is such a weird pitcher. He dominates one day, then he implodes in the 9th inning, and then he's really good the next day and then implodes. I cannot figure the guy out. Andrew McCutchen becomes Andrew McClutchen. He clears the bases on a double in the 6th inning, and then he grabs his 4th RBI in the 8th. Luis Garcia makes an error, and that allows the 6th run to score for the Phillies. That ties up the game, and then on a fielder's choice, he chooses not to throw home in the 8th, and the Phillies take a 7-6 lead, and Ian Kennedy, he closes the door, and the Phillies have now won 6 games in a row, and they're just 2 games back of the Braves for first place. Now, luckily for the Braves, they do just squeak past the Rockies yesterday 6-5 because Jorge Soler refuses to cool off, and same with Austin Riley. Austin Riley is going to get a ton of MVP votes. A 4.9 WAR, 82 RBIs, 28 home runs, a .305 batting average, and fantastic defense over at the hot corner. Tuki Toussaint, he got torched in the 3rd inning. He allows a grand slam to Chuck Nasty, so it's 5-4 going into the 5th, and then Dansby Swanson, he does his job. He puts the ball in the air, and then Adam Duvall uses all 10 rings. That is a Shang-Chi reference. You guys should go see that movie. It was incredible. 480 feet off the bat of Duvall. Then he plays some really good defense, and the bullpen takes care of the rest as Will Smith picks up his 30th save of the year. So like I mentioned, the Braves, they're 2 games ahead of the Phillies, but they're 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Mets have not lost since their thumbs down debacle with the fans. Mickey Rowe, he does launch a home run on the very first pitch of the game, and an RBI machine, Jesus Aguilar, Aguilar does his thing. But then Jonathan Villar hits a home run on the first pitch as well, 431 feet. And that was the first time since 1988 that both leadoff hitters hit a home run on the first pitch of their respective innings. Francisco Lindor doubles in Brandon Nimmo, and then he scores for the second time this week on a box. So the score is 3-2 going into the sixth, and then some sloppy pitching ties it up at 3-3. But pinch hitter Dom Smith delivers in the clutch, and Edwin Diaz puts the win in Edwin with his 28th save of the year. The Mets have won 4 games in a row. They're 5 games back of the wild card and first place, but they're playing good baseball. Moving on over to the Red Sox, who have played a whole lot better the last 2 days, because Rookie of the Month Bobby Dahlbeck brings in the first run, and then Hunter Renfroe knocks in the second run of the game. And honestly, the story of yesterday for the Boston Red Sox was small ball, because it continued later on with an RBI single from JD Martinez, and then Bobby Dahlbeck with his second RBI single. So every single run that the Red Sox scored yesterday was from an RBI single. Eduardo Rodriguez was fantastic. He tossed 6 shutout innings, only 1 walk, and that 1 walk was to Wander Franco, who had to leave the game with a migraine. But on this walk, he extends his on-base streak to 33 games. And then Junk Ball G, as they call him, Garrett Richards comes in for 3 shutout innings, only allows 1 base hit. Boston has now won 2 games in a row, and they split the series with their daddy, the Tampa Bay Rays. So the Boston Red Sox are going to have to compete with the A's for the remainder of the season for second place in that wild card, and it got even harder yesterday because the A's keep on fighting. They absolutely lit up Matt Manning in the first as Jed Lowry smacks a 3-run Oppo Taco, and then Mark Canha grabs his 14th home run of the year. Starling Marte doubles in an RBI in the second inning right before Yan Gomes drives in 2 as a nightmare day continues for Detroit. Pinch hitter Chris Davis, yes, Crush Davis is back with the Oakland Athletics. He drives an RBI on a double. He is home. I'm so happy to see this. And the trend continues. As soon as I say this player cannot do something, the opposite happens. I said Harold Castro has no pop, and then he goes 450 feet. Akil Baddoo pimps one the other way. Hopefully he can stay hot for the remainder of the year, maybe get a Player of the Month card in MLB The Show. Jamir Candelario has been a machine in the second half. He hits a 3-run tater, but then you have Andrew Chafin and Sergio Romo putting out the fire, and the A's are just 2 games back of Boston for the second place and the American League wild card. And then a team that is playing really well, maybe it's just because they're playing bad teams, Cleveland. They have won, I think, 11 games in a row versus the Royals, and Hunter Dozier, he starts off the game with an RBI, and he earned this because anytime Miles Straw cannot get to a ball, yeah, you earn that. Tristan McKenzie settled down. We'll talk about him in just a moment because he allowed Owen Miller to come in clutch, and he did it. A 3-run home run for Tristan McKenzie, who goes 6 innings, only allows 2 base hits and 6 strikeouts. And Yu Chang, the hero of the last week, he stays hot and then makes a fantastic web gem in the 9th inning as Emmanuel Clase. He does allow a run, but he secures his 20th save of the year. And like I mentioned, Cleveland has beaten the Royals 11 consecutive times. They have won 4 games in a row, and I really like what I see from the core of Cleveland going into 2022. We don't even have Shane Bieber or Aaron Savali or Nolan Jones or Tyler Freeman or Gabriel Arias, our top prospects. I think that we're going to be really good in 2022. Knock on wood. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. There weren't very many games yesterday, so that was pretty much the gist of it. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this day in MLB history. Back in 2007, Pedro Martinez, yeah, he had 3,000 strikeouts.
And there it is. Pedro Martinez, just the 15th pitcher in Major League Baseball history to strike out 3,000 or more batters. He picks up the baseball, and he will carry it back to the New York Mets dugout.
Well, Paulo Duca read the scouting report, but he didn't read the